Can you drink coffee while intermittent fasting? Millions of people around the world can't start their day without their morning cup of joe. So, how does one reconcile this when adopting an intermittent fasting protocol which requires you to fast for 16 hours or more a day? Most people on an intermittent fasting plan have their first meal from 12 p.m. onwards. This is already noon. Skipping your morning coffee will leave you feeling like a zombie till midday. Remedy. The best way to remedy this will be to drink black coffee without sugar or milk. Black coffee on its own has many benefits. It is rich in antioxidants, boosts memory, helps promote weight loss, cleanses your stomach, and helps the liver detox. Without sugar and milk, black coffee doesn't affect your intermittent fasting plan. The problem arises when people sweeten their coffee. The sugar in the coffee elevates their blood sugar levels and causes the pancreas to secrete insulin. The moment this happens, you're no longer in a fasted state. One of the benefits of intermittent fasting is ketosis. Ketosis can occur when there is a lack of glucose in the blood. When the coffee causes insulin to be secreted, your body is no longer in fat-burning mode since it is now using glucose as a fuel source. So, making an exception for coffee is a no-go unless it's black coffee. Getting used to black coffee. Black coffee can be horribly bitter to some people, and it does take some getting used to. If you'd rather not drink coffee than drink bitter black coffee, that's fine too. Some people prefer their coffee without milk or creamer, but still use sugar, and that's not allowed either. The coffee has to be black with no additional ingredients. There are a few ways to get used to the taste. You can test out different coffee brands and see which is easiest on your palate. Another way will be to try brewing the coffee using different methods. Some methods will result in less bitter coffee. The best way to get used to it will be to consume small amounts of it daily until you acquire the taste for it. Some people may make the switch overnight and be fine with it, while others may gag on the taste. You'll have to decide for yourself if you're going to go cold turkey or slowly wean yourself off sugar and creamer in the coffee. If you're thinking of using artificial sweeteners in your morning brew, it is not a good idea. These artificial sweeteners are detrimental to your health and are toxic in the long run. It's better to use sugar instead of these sweeteners. The goal of intermittent fasting is to improve your health, not worsen it. Is it caffeine that you want? For many people, it's not the coffee that they need, but the stimulant caffeine which they require to wake them up and make them alert. If this is the case, you can stop drinking coffee and stick to caffeine supplements. Just purchase a bottle of them from the health store and take the supplement accordingly. Take note of just how much caffeine is in one tablet. You may wish to split the tablet and just consume half because these supplements are more potent than coffee. At the end of the day, intermittent fasting requires you to fast. Fasting means an almost zero-calorie intake during the fasting window. Stick to black coffee or use a caffeine supplement. Anything else and you'll undo all your intermittent fasting efforts and will not see the desirable results you're hoping for. What will intermittent fasting do for my body? This question will require us to look at the benefits that can be accrued by adopting an intermittent fasting protocol. While intermittent fasting is not really a life-changing shift in your life, the mere practice of eating during a shorter window gives your body time to rest and recover. Let's look at the benefits. Better weight management. The most obvious benefit will be weight loss. In the first 3 weeks or so, you'll not notice much difference. However, by your second and third month, you'll notice that you've lost quite a bit of excess fat, even though you didn't change your diet that much. Glowing skin. People who do intermittent fasting also report healthier skin that glows. The fasting process helps cells renew themselves, and this contributes to luxuriant skin. The better your skin, the younger you'll look. Helps retain muscle. One of the most common problems when losing weight is that you'll lose some muscle too. With intermittent fasting, this problem is mitigated. Contrary to popular belief, intermittent fasting does not catabolize your muscle tissue. In fact, it actually helps your body to retain muscle. Increased mental clarity. People who have made intermittent fasting a part of their lifestyle often report increased mental clarity and more alertness. Any brain fog they may have been having disappears too. Improves insulin sensitivity. This is one of the best benefits of intermittent fasting. Your blood sugar levels will not only be stable, but your insulin sensitivity will increase. What that means is that your body will not secrete too much insulin when digesting carbs. Excess insulin is stored as fat, and this will not be a problem when your body doesn't release too much of it. Improves heart health. Intermittent fasting has been shown to improve heart health too. You'll be less susceptible to heart disease, strokes, etc. Very often, this is because inflammation is minimized when you're on an intermittent fasting plan. Eating round the clock means that you'll always have insulin in your blood. You'll also be more likely to eat processed foods which are high in sugar or which contain hidden sugars. Sugar is the main culprit when it comes to inflammation, and studies have shown that inflammation is the root cause of a myriad of health problems. When your body is inflamed, your cholesterol levels increase. When your cholesterol levels increase, your risk of heart disease, hypertension, strokes, etc. increase too. Intermittent fasting prevents all these problems from taking root. Fat adaptation. One of the benefits that's often not mentioned is fat adaptation. This term is used to describe a situation where the body burns fat for fuel. With most people, the body uses glucose as a source of fuel. The glucose comes from carbs, which is why people often crave carbs. When you're on an intermittent fasting protocol, especially those with a shorter eating window, your blood glucose levels will be low. When there's not enough glucose to fuel the body's energy needs, it will start burning its fat stores for fuel. This will result in fat loss, and ketones are a better fuel source than glucose. So you'll feel more energetic and have a clearer mind. These are just some of the ways intermittent fasting will benefit your body. It's one of the best eating protocols that you can adopt, and once you get used to it, you'll be on it for life and never look back. Which intermittent fasting method is the best? This question can be answered with one line, the one that you follow. There are several different intermittent fasting protocols around with different rules, but the best one is the one that you follow strictly. So many people start off good, but after a few days, when they start feeling hungry, they throw in the towel and give up. It takes about 2 to 3 weeks to get used to an intermittent fasting routine. During this time, it's imperative that you not quit. Stay the course until your body adjusts to the new eating patterns. That said, there are a few pointers you should be aware of. The duration of the fast. Generally, the longer the duration, the better. The bare minimum is the 16-8 fasting protocol. With this method, you'll be fasting for 16 hours and your eating window will be 8 hours. If you shrink the eating window to 5 or 6 hours long, you'll lose the excess weight faster because your body will be in ketosis for longer. There are some diets that, like the snake juice diet, which recommend eating window of 1 to 2 hours. This short window is very effective for weight loss, but you'll have to deal with the hunger pangs that may creep in several hours after your meal. Another diet that creates similar issues is the OMAD diet, which involves fasting for the whole day and only having one large meal in the evening. This is a highly effective diet too, but once again, you'll have to work up to it. Eating one meal a day can leave you feeling hungry. What are your eating patterns like? Some people prefer eating earlier in the day, while others prefer going to bed feeling full. This is a matter of personal preference, and there's no right or wrong answer here. If you're the type of person that absolutely must have breakfast to start your day, adopt an IF protocol that requires you to have your first meal at 2 p.m. might leave you irritable for the first half of your day. You're better off having your breakfast at 9 a.m. and your last meal of the day by 5 p.m. if you're on the 16-8 fasting plan. You may feel just fine fasting all the way till bedtime. If you can't go to bed with an empty stomach that's growling, you're better off planning your eating window so that your last meal is about 2 hours before bedtime. Try not to eat too close to bedtime because the digestive process uses up energy and your sleep will not be restful. The different IF protocols. The variations for intermittent fasting are many. Some protocols like Brad Pylon's Eat Shop Eat requires you to fast on 2 days of the week, so you'll be going without food on 2 days. The 2 days do not have to be consecutive. On paper, this seems easy. You just don't eat for 24 hours twice a week and can eat normally the remaining 5 days. However, most people will discover that fasting for 24 hours can be very difficult. So it all comes down to what you can and cannot handle. Intermittent fasting is akin to a skill. You need to slowly practice it until you're good enough to handle longer fasts. The fasting protocol that you can execute effectively. Will intermittent fasting make you sick? Intermittent fasting is similar to the keto diet in the sense that during the first few days, you're not going to feel optimal. The keto diet refers to it as the keto flu. What you'll experience is lethargy, brain fog, sudden cravings for certain foods, hunger pangs, mood swings, irritability, flu-like symptoms, and so on. So why does this happen? There are a few reasons why you feel sick. For starters, we're creatures of habit. If you're eating round the clock, your body is used to getting food all the time. You're using food as therapy instead of fuel. Once you limit yourself to eating during a specific window, the rest of the time you'll not have food in your belly. Your body will realize that something is missing and old habits die hard. Since food was used to make you feel good, now you'll not feel so good. Over and above that, you may have a sugar addiction that you weren't aware of. Fasting will lower your blood sugar levels and you'll crave sweet foods. When you deny yourself these foods, you'll be like a drug addict who can't get his fix. There will be some withdrawal symptoms. Detoxing. Since most of us are on the standard American diet, which is high in processed foods, junk foods, etc., our bodies are filled with toxins and other wastes. Once you go on an intermittent fasting protocol, your body will try to cleanse itself. The human body is always in the business of self-preservation, and this highly intelligent organism will start the detoxing process to clear the waste from your system. During this process, you may experience flu-like symptoms. This happens with the keto diet too. There's nothing to worry about. You're not becoming ill and the intermittent fasting is not harming your body. You're just eliminating the toxins from your body. You'll feel worse before you feel better. Generally, you should feel better within 3 to 5 days. Coping with hunger. It's normal to feel hungry when you first begin intermittent fasting. This is one reason why you should slowly ease into it. Start with an 8-hour fasting window and slowly work your way up to 16 hours or more. If you do it gradually, your body will get accustomed to going for longer periods without food. Your appetite will decrease and your stomach will slowly shrink. Even when you do eat, you'll need less food to feel full. To get to this stage takes time. Trying to rush the process is not advisable and will only make you feel discomfort and hate the process. Some people make the cardinal error of making the switch overnight. They go from eating at all hours to suddenly adopting a severe protocol like the OMAD diet, which involves fasting for 23 hours and eating 1 meal a day. This makes the entire process torturous. You'll be irritable and thinking of food all the time. The symptoms of lethargy, flu, etc. will be much stronger and less bearable as your body adjusts to the shock. So proceed slowly and adopt the intermittent fasting protocol with common sense. Speak to your doctor before you get started. Once you're cleared for it, give yourself about 2 to 3 weeks to get used to it. After that, it will be a breeze to follow.